Now, Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders, it's a lot going on with Coach Prime because he talks a lot and he's in the media a lot. So it's going to always be a lot going on. He brings a lot of attention to himself and his team. But for me, I have a question along with a lot of other questions. And my question is, how does this Colorado team look without Shedeur Sanders? If Shedeur Sanders decides to go to the NFL or, we don't want to say any negative thing, but just not on the field. But how does this team look if Shedeur Sanders decides to go to the NFL or doesn't play anymore? Now, understand Coach Prime has been his son, Shedeur Sanders' coach since a little kid. Understand that. His kids embrace his coaching style, personality, and leadership. They just embrace him, period. It's his father. Why not, right? You should. But not every player can adapt or be accustomed to the hype and attention that comes with playing for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, right? I'm not sure if we blame the kid for thinking he wants to play for Coach Prime and he realizes it isn't the best fit for themselves, right? That kid, right? So a kid decides to sign with Colorado, all the hype and stuff like that. He thinks he could deal with it. He gets there and he realizes that's not for him. I don't know if we can blame a kid for that, right? Because, kids don't have much wisdom and they're still living and learning, right? So some kids just love to play football and they don't desire much attention. But obviously you should expect that if you sign with Colorado. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. You got to take some accountability, right? But kids are kids, and there are a lot of decisions to be made when signing a scholarship to a university. You have a lot of decisions. And you could be blind sometime and you don't understand what you really want. So you just going off, the brand. You're going off what you see, the limelight, the flashiness and all that thing. It may confuse a lot of kids, right? Shedeur Sanders is an awesome player. Don't get that twisted. One of the best, right? And he is the main reason for Colorado's success and being a better team in which Colorado Buffalo fans are used to seeing in the past. Huge, a totally different team, way better than it used to be, right? And Shedeur Sanders is the biggest reason for all that, right? But what happens when Shedeur Sanders declares for the NFL? How will this Colorado Buffalo team look then, right? I'm well aware of the commitment from, the kid, Antoine Hill Jr. committing to the university. I'm well aware of that. I understand that, right? But like I said, he's been in his son's life forever. So that chemistry they have, you can't get that with no other kid because they're not his son, right? No matter who he signs, they're not going to have that type of chemistry because that's his son. Prime has a strong personality. He's a very confident man. And in my opinion, he puts the tax on kids too much and at unnecessary times. I think there's other ways he handled it. But that's his coaching style. I'm just giving my opinion being a critic, right? Like we've seen with previous players from the past, right, from the last year, telling the kids to pack their bags, the Kermani McLean kid, and the offensive line, right? Like I said, the tax on the kids. You got to hold everybody accountable, right? But here's a very intriguing situation. Coach Prime made a surprising move to shift the play calling duties in the middle of the season. Although the offense was one of the top in college, averaging 32 points per game, he decided to make a coaching switch to give it to a failed NFL coach, or should we say not so accomplished NFL coach, right? And then when this new coach get out there, I still see 5 wide receivers, and there's a protection problem with the offensive line. So what is this all about? What problems did Pat Shurmur solve? And none. I don't see none. Pat didn't solve nothing. It actually looked like the offense took a step back with Pat leading as the offensive coordinator. But why did he do that, right? Because previous offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, was never the problem. So why is he being thrown under the bus without any explanation, right? Because Pat, like I said, he's pretty much a failed coach with a ton of experience. He's older and he's not innovative, while Sean is young, creative, and innovative. It's only the first year and starting to panic and point fingers. I don't understand why. You said, Coach. This is what you said, Coach Prime. Coach Prime says he will always keep it real and transparent with us. He has no problem calling the kids out when the kids do things wrong and talking about their personal conversations that they have when they come to his office. And they may think it's personal and not thinking Coach's going to talk about it. But when it comes to the coaching staff, He'd rather not discuss it because he doesn't want his coaches to feel like a demotion. How you explain that? What kind of personal issues and what you said you're riding with your 10, you got your 10 on and all that stuff. But when you come to these kids, you're going to keep it real with everybody. You're going to throw the kid under the bus, lift them high. You say whatever about the kids. Why we can't get the same thing from the coaches? We want to know everything. Like you say, you keep it real all the way around, not just how you want to keep it real, because I'm a real person. I keep it real, the good, bad, or the ugly. So just keep it real with us. Don't say you're going to keep it real and then it don't sound like you're keeping it real because, things are backfire. That's the problem when you get in front of these cameras and do all that talking. This stuff got to match up and got to continue to match up, right? And no, it was not time for a coaching change at offensive coordinator. It was time for coaches to coach the kids better and give them time to grow together. Not time to throw somebody under the bus and tell them that you've been relieved of your duties. Just coach is patient. You're doing good. The team is doing good. We just criticize, and that's how it goes. We already know you're doing good. We know expectations is high. They're probably higher than they need to be. And on the other hand, stop letting this team depend on Shedeur Sanders, right? It's all about Shedeur Sanders. He is the reason this team is competitive and winning. His body can only take so much. You have to do something. We can't just be lining up there in 4 and 5 wide when we have protection problems. Got to leave the tight end in sometime. Got to run some pro set. Run the ball more, right? But back to the subject, right? If Shedeur Sanders leave, how would this team look? If Coach Prime is unable to land top recruits at all the positions that he claimed that he need, then what adjustments do you make from there? Do you just say you just still need dogs? No, the adjustment is coaching. You find coaches that can coach the kids up to play up to par, the football to the standards of Coach Prime. Right? It can't always just be the kids' fault, right? Create plays so the offensive line can be confident, so they can go out there and know they're going to play the style of football that they want to play and be physical and aggressive. The running game is pretty much abandoned, right? You just throw it out there from time to time, right? And that's one thing that can help the offensive line because they love to be physical and run block. Run block is a physical aspect of the game. But if they just sitting back there and pass block all game, throwing all these passes, they're sitting back there vulnerable. Give them a chance to be physical and attack. That's a different changeup. Run the ball 30 times a game, right? Give them a chance, right? They want to be aggressive and not just sit back and be attacked. And that's one way to help the offensive line. Just simply running the ball, man. And, Coach Prime, you're doing a great job. And I just wish, you could tone it down, bringing all the attention. But, hey, everybody got to do their own thing. And that's how it's going to always be. But, I'm curious to see how he's going to do without Shedeur Sanders because his son is amazing. And like I said, he is the main reason for this Colorado success. I don't know what else they need, but they need a lot. And we're going to see. And how the offensive coordinator, Pat, if this next game, Pat is still the offensive coordinator and they go out there and they don't do no heck of do a good job, you're going to hear from me next week. I'm just telling you, I'm coming and I'm not holding back. So if Sean Lewis is not the offensive coordinator and it's still Pat and they don't do a heck of a job next week, you're hearing from me and I'm going to say what needs to be said like I always do. Till next time, in between time, it's your boy, Mr. Pick Six, Asante Samuel. Say what needs to be said. I'm out.